Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. It always starts as a simple favor. Hey, can I crash at your place for a bit? Sure, why not? No big deal. Today in the rLounge, 1 minute you're helping. The next, you're in too deep. Am I the a-hole for not letting my pregnant sister sleep in my bed? I, 26 male, rent a small 2-bedroom apartment. I live alone, but I use the second bedroom as my office because I work from home full time. My older sister, Lily, 31 female, is 6 months pregnant and soon to be single mother. She has some issues with her apartment, in a disagreement with her landlord, and in the process of moving out. So she asked if she could stay with me for a few weeks. Of course, I said yes, and that I would be happy to accommodate her for as long as she needs. She moved in last weekend, and the first thing she did when setting in was pointing towards my bed and saying, "I'll take this one." I laughed, thinking she was joking. Only later in the evening, when I asked her if she needs anything else before going to bed, did she mention that she was not joking about wanting to sleep in my bed. Now, I'm a little bit of a germaphobe, and I am quite uncomfortable with the idea of other people sleeping in my bed. I told her that I am uncomfortable letting anyone else sleep in my bed, but I will gladly set her up with my guest bed, which I did use to sleep on before buying my current bed, and I know for a fact is very comfortable and spacious. Then, she started guilt-tripping me, saying that since she got pregnant, she's having problems falling asleep and that she needs the bigger, more comfortable bed. I stood my ground and told her I was happy to accommodate her, but I wasn't giving up my bedroom. She sulked, but she did take the guest bed. That lasted exactly 2 nights before she started complaining that the bed was too stiff and that she couldn't sleep. I offered to buy a new mattress topper, but she refused. Instead, she tried to pull the "You're my brother, you should want to make me comfortable" guilt trip again. I told her that she is lucky I can even take her in, since I work 10 hours a day from home, and I do value having a work environment that's private, calm, and quiet. She called me selfish and accused me of not caring about her or her baby. I told her she could take the couch if the guest bed was that unbearable. Well, she did, but exactly 1 night before fuming into an absolute menace. In the second night on the couch, she made sure to sigh loudly all night, accidentally bump into things, and complain that next morning about how horrible I was making her feel. The following day, she kept making calls and talking loudly on the phone while I was working. I didn't pay attention to the actual calls and what she was saying, but later it became very clear. In the evening, I started getting phone calls from most, if not all, of my family members. Apparently, she was ranting all day on the phone to my family about how rude and how horrible I was making her feel, trying to make my family put pressure on me to just let her sleep in my bed, like she's on a mission or something. My mom took her side and tore me a new one on the phone, saying that Lily is carrying a child and I'm being inconsiderate. She also said, "I thought I taught you better hospitality than this. I am very disappointed." My aunt called to tell me that my uncle, her husband, used to sleep on the couch and sometimes on the floor next to her when she was pregnant. Even my cousin, who I haven't spoken to in 2 years, called to tell me that I'm being selfish. My father is taking my side, telling me to ignore them and that my sister is an F-up, that she got in this situation in the first place. But I feel like my mom is giving him a super hard time in the background because he did sound kind of hesitant when I asked him to have my back. Honestly, I'm just feeling like I'm in the middle of a soap opera drama. My mom is threatening to come take Lily home. Yeah, like that's much of a threat. But she's giving me such a hard time and telling me I'm disappointed in her and that she raised me better. I don't know how to feel about this anymore. Am I the a-hole for not letting my pregnant sister sleep in my bed? Let's see what the community thinks. First up, not the a-hole. Tell your sister your mom has offered to let her stay, so pack your bags if the guest bed is uncomfortable. Everyone who has called, call them back and ask when they intend to pick up your sister to stay with them. The next person says, get her out of your house ASAP. You're going to end up with her in your room, baby in guest room, and you're going to be sleeping on the couch. Check your lease and tenancy laws. Do not let her use your address for mail. Seriously, get her out before she gives birth. Ship her off to mom. One more person. I offered you a place to live, and you have returned that favor by turning a bunch of flying monkeys on me so you can steal my bed on top of the rest of my home. You're disrupting my work and my life. I expect you to be out tomorrow. Maybe one of your flying monkeys will take you in. Not the a-hole. The fact that she immediately ran to the family to turn them against you instead of appreciating what you've done says everything. If your mom and aunt feel so strongly about her comfort, they can take her in and give her their beds. Funny how no one else is offering. Update. First of all, I want to thank you guys for the overwhelming support. This blew up way beyond anything I expected. Wow. I really appreciate you all taking the time to chime in and sharing your opinion. You guys really helped to reassure me and gave me confidence in my own feelings that my private space has been disrespected and quite frankly violated. I would like to answer a few common questions I saw in the comments. The guest bed is in the living room. It's stored in the second bedroom, my office, but whenever I have a guest, I set it up in the living room. The living room space is quite big and can comfortably fit the guest bed, couch, and living room table as well. My parents live 4 to 5 hour drive away, and they are the closest family members to my apartment. That is why I didn't initially think of suggesting anyone to come and pick up Lily to take her to their place. I, in fact, did not get my sister pregnant. What the F, guys? Lily is moving out of her current apartment because it is being sold, and the new owners aren't sure if they want to keep renting it or what to charge exactly. So that's why she's moving out. Anyway, here's the update. My mother made the drive over yesterday. She came in quite furious, barely said a word to me, and wanted to take Lily and leave ASAP. She had that cold, disappointed look on her face. It broke my heart, honestly. I told them, Lily and my mother, that I wanted to talk and explain my side of the story. I told them both that I didn't want them to leave on bad terms. I sat them down in the living room and explained my side of things. I also decided to show them the original post, and it did help calm them down and made them second-guess their opinions. Also, I did believe they were quite embarrassed, judging by the looks on their faces when I showed them the post, to see everything written out like that, but they didn't dare to say a word about it. In the end, they both agreed that my apartment is my personal space, and also my workspace, and they understood why it was difficult for me to give up my bed. It wasn't totally smooth, though. They still gave me a bit of a hard time, saying that while they do understand my side now, I could have still been the bigger person and just let Lily sleep on my bed. At least they did drop the whole "you're selfish" act. As for the rest of the family, I demanded that my sister call each and every one of them to let them know my side and calm them down. Lily was reluctant at first, but my mother gave her the look, and eventually she came around and told me she'd do it on the drive back to my parents. I was honestly surprised she agreed. My aunt even called me today to apologize. That was definitely unexpected and very satisfying. Lily is now staying with my parents, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I get in a few weeks with them ranting about her being entitled in the house. Can't wait to see how they'll handle that one. Hopefully this is the last time I'll have to deal with this. Lily still needs to move her stuff from her old apartment, which is a 30-minute drive from me, so I know she's going to ask for my help. Not that I would mind. I would be happy to help her, but I'm worried she might want to come stay at my place again or use my place to store some of her stuff. Also, she might bring this whole thing up again, and I couldn't be asked to deal with it once again. That's a problem for another day, though. Hopefully not. So in the end, I believe it turned out the best way possible, and I have you guys to thank for that. Seriously, I appreciate each and every one of you who took their time to comment in my original post. Thank you. Let's get a couple more comments then. First one. So naturally, your sister will be sleeping in your parents' bed, right? You know, since mom doesn't think it's a big deal. Okay, all kidding aside, you handled this perfectly. You were not the a-hole then, and you're still not the a-hole. One more comment. Of course she will. She's pregnant and needs the big bed. Maybe mom and dad will sleep on the floor this time around. The be the bigger person argument was such a last-ditch effort to save face. They knew they had nothing left, but they couldn't let you walk away completely vindicated, and you just know she's going to try and push boundaries again and ask for help moving her stuff. Whether it's just a few boxes in your place or a convenient, I have nowhere to stay tonight moment, she's going to test the waters. Stay firm, OP. You were never the bad guy, and now even your family had to admit it. Have you ever had a family member overstep your boundaries like this? How did you handle it? Thank you for joining us today in the rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time, and please put your chair back where you found it.